to talk about something, a very simple thing, a perception of safety or a perception of danger. What is danger and what is safety? I'm going to argue that they're really just perceptions. That you can never actually know safety or know danger. I think about this, and I've always thought about this. Well, not always. Not like since like 20,000 years ago, I didn't think about it. But just in the past like 30 years or so. Like Missy, she feels safe. And she's right here. She feels safe. And I feel safe with her. I don't feel like she's going to do anything to me. I feel safe when I'm in my house. But what is that? Let's say if in the next minute somebody came in here and did something to me. Then my belief that I was safe was wrong. Or if Missy sits there and goes for the jugular, then my thought that I was safe was wrong. But all that safety is a way you perceive something. Because what is the difference between actually knowing that you're safe and just merely perceiving that you're safe? What is the difference? Just like knowing that you're in danger and perceiving yourself to be in danger. See, we think it's very clear. If you were in a situation where somebody pulled out a gun, obviously you think, okay, I'm in danger. But what's the difference? What if it turned out that the person had a gun that wasn't loaded? And so you were never really in any danger and they were just kidding in some situation. It might be a crazy joke. It might be the kind of joke people shouldn't pull, but they did it. But you were never in any danger. But in that moment, for a moment, you had a very clear perception. And if somebody could have asked you at that moment, are you in danger? You say, you better believe it. You better believe it. I am in danger. This is danger. I know I'm in danger. But your knowledge would have been wrong. See, I kind of think that we make a distinction in our minds between knowing something and perceiving something. But in reality, there is no difference between the two things. I think this is the kind of argument that David Hume would have loved. He would have loved such a thing like this, to make that distinction. How do you know? How do you know? It's the thing about knowledge, the limits of what we can know. How do you know that you're in danger? How do you know that you're not wrong? Well, in every situation, there's always the possibility that whatever conclusion you come to, or whatever thing you think is the case, may not be the case. I was thinking once, I was watching some video a few weeks ago, and they were showing TV bloopers and stuff, mistakes that news people made. And there was one in which these people were doing a news story about I guess they had a report that there was a plane crash. It crashed somewhere on the streets in the city. And so they had video and they were talking about it, and looked like wreckage of a plane. And it turned out that it was actually from a movie. They were making a movie. And it wasn't a plane crash. And then the reporters realized like halfway through the story, it's like, oh, well, why didn't they tell us this was a movie? It wasn't a real plane crash. It was an interesting thing how you can think something is the case, but it really isn't what you think. Things aren't what they appear to be. You could be wrong in the conclusion that you come to. How do you know? That's why I love to read David Hume, and I love his whole thing, of questioning things. Things that we feel so certain about, but it's not the case, We're so certain, for example, that the Declaration of Independence was signed July 4th, 1776. But in fact, I think only 2 people signed it on that date. Mostly everybody else signed it at different dates, and it wasn't ratified until like September or October of that same year. At least, and then you might find some new information. You discover it was ratified in, just last year or something. So, whatever you think you know, you really don't know. You can never be 100% certain about anything. It makes me think about this guy, Kurt Godel, and his incompleteness theorem. Whatever you think is the case may not be the case because you don't have all the information. You can never have all the facts. But, the truth is all the facts. And since you can never have all the facts, you can never really know. Your knowledge is always in that area of uncertainty. Just an interesting thought.